Hi, I'm Chef Erin Roth, and welcome to Mrs. Joe's Petite Patisserie and Cafe, located here in Tyson's Corner, Virginia. Today, I will show you how to make a lovely, great roasted tomato soup. So the first thing with roasted tomato soups is we're using large tomatoes. We used the Roma tomatoes, and we cut them in quarters about this size. Then we're also using a yellow onion and carrots. Now, because you have a soft-skinned vegetable, a medium type vegetable, and a very hard vegetable, and because we're going to roast all these together, you want to make your hardest vegetable your smallest vegetables as far as cuts. That way, they will all roast about the same time and be. So what you don't want is like for the tomatoes to be dried out because the carrots haven't been properly cooked yet. So what I'm going to do now is pour a little olive oil over this, and all I'm doing is trying to create a binder so that my dry seasonings can stick. You could use a non-stick cooking spray as well, or you can use like canola oil, but I like to use extra virgin olive oil for any kind of roasting. And all I'm going to do is just mix this well. I want to be sure that all the vegetables are coated. And then all I'm going to do is in stages sprinkle the dry herbs over them. Mix, sprinkle some more. Then I'll reserve the last bit to place on top once I place them in the pan. You want to make sure everything is coated. Now, I have here a half-size baking pan. All I'm going to do is just pour the vegetables over here. Try to get all the seasoning out. You want to spread everything until everything is one vegetable deep. And then with the remaining, all I'm doing is just sprinkling these over here. And that's it. So what do I have in my seasoning, you may ask? So I use a little basil. I have some fennel seeds. And I also have rosemary, but not a lot rosemary. So a tip of the day, if you're using dried rosemary in any dish, let the rosemary be the smallest addition of dried herbs. Too much rosemary can really overpower a dish like lavender does. Too much lavender makes something taste like soap. So I use the least amount of rosemary compared to the other dry herbs. So this is what it should look like. And now I'm going to place these in the oven at about 400 for about 30 minutes or until I see a nice, beautiful char. So we'll be back. Okay, now that we have our roasted vegetables out of the oven, I want you to see these are the tomatoes, our onions, and I'm going to use the spatula and see can I cut the carrots down. Remember I was saying carrots are your hardest vegetable in this dish, so you want to make sure that you cut it in smaller pieces so it can cook as quickly. And so this is what you want. You want a nice, beautiful char. You have char from the skin of the tomato, skin of the vegetables, and you have a little char from the dried seasonings. So all I'm doing now at this point, and I'm not sure if I mentioned it earlier, but you want to spray your aluminum foil so that your vegetables don't stick. And all I'm going to do now is place this in a pot. I have milk and I have a heavy cream, about equal parts that I have already in here. So all I'm going to do at this point is put in our garlic and onion powder. Put in our creamy garlic mixture that we make here in the cafe. More to follow on that. And red pepper flakes. Now you're saying, oh, why is she putting red pepper flakes in there? you'll be surprised. It gives you just a hint. It's not overly powering or anything. It gives you a nice hint. And then a little salt and a little pepper to start. Now all I'm going to do at this point is set this to simmer and let it cook down. And then so about 20 minutes, I want to let it simmer. And then after it simmers, I want to go ahead and add a little of Parmesan cheese, or you can use any type of cheese. You can use cheddar, but I like to go with Parmesan because it just gives a different flavor, to me, a better flavor. So we'll be back once this boils down. See you in a few. Okay, now the tomatoes, the onions, and the carrots have all simmered down, and I've turned it off, and now I'm going to just blend this so we have some good creaminess. One thing about the immersion blenders, you want to make sure that the blender stays under the items that you're immersing. You can always, too, now, this is the part that you would taste it if you want to adjust the creaminess. So what I would like to do is add a little more liquid to the base. I'm going to taste it real quick. It needs a little more salt. I'm going to add a little more milk, heavy cream. And it needs just a touch more of salt. Blend some more. All right. Now, taste a little more. Just want to taste it one more time. Perfect. Now, some of you may want to add some more of your dried herbs. This is the time to do it. If you do add dried herbs to anything or any seasonings, you want to let it simmer for a few more minutes to make sure you pull it out so it can bloom. But we're fine. So, the fallacy about tomato soup, it is not red. It is only red because they add red food coloring to it. True tomato soups are this color. And what changes it too is when you add cream or milk to it, it whitens it. So You don't have to add milk. If you want to keep this vegan based, you can do vegetable stock and pretty much do it from there. You don't have to add milk. But, you know, for the rest of us, I like to add a little milk and heavy cream to it. And that's it. This is a creamy tomato soup. And for parents who have small children, this is a good way to sneak in a lot of vegetables. Believe it or not, you can puree anything into here at this point, and it's not green, because some kids don't like to eat anything that's green. But you can, you know, you have your carrots in here, your potatoes, your celery. You could throw in bell peppers. I'm not sure what broccoli will look like, but you can pretty much put anything in here and they'll love it. So there you have it, our creamy roasted tomato soup. Enjoy.